Hey everybody, I'm Evan, and this is Lizzy, and this is the top 10 games of all time, according to us.
Yes, cannot wait to share this, learn what you have. I have a guess at what your number one is.
Okay.
But I guess we shall see shortly.
We shall. This is a very exciting moment. It's all been building up to this.
Okay.
We've been working on this list basically the entire year, like up until this point. So, yeah.
We started doing the Survey Monkey the end of last year.
Pub Meeple, yeah. Right,
Meeple
so we've been staring at these lists for a long time.
Yes. And now we
are
get to
super
share
happy
the
to
best of the best.
Yes, very excited to do that. All right, so let's not delay. Let's do it.
Okay, so my number 10 came out in 2021. This is a game where it has these see-through-ish cards that have beautiful pictures on them. And on the bottom, there's paint swatches that have different symbols on them.
Okay.
And you put 3 in this sleeve that has a cool background on it. And you make a picture. And then you get points and ribbons. And you know what it is? It's called Canvas.
Yep.
And of course I have the entire panorama. I did not get the big box because I like seeing the complete picture. It's so much prettier. But I love this game. We loved it so much that, because sometimes there's empty spaces you have on those swatches on the bottom. We actually, Brooks Kitty and I, we put points to those. So if they're exposed at the end, you get certain points for those as well. So we even made our own little variant because we love this one so much.
Interesting. Huh, wow. That's crazy. I can't believe that's this high. That's number 10.
Yes. It's so good.
It is fun. We don't own it, but we've played it at a convention before. And it is fun. And it's fun making those pictures. Do you play with a lot of the expansion stuff? Because I think that kind of ups the complexity a little bit, right?
I can do it either or. The base game's fantastic, and when I want a little more meat, those expansions add. But I really like one of the expansions adds like a reverse. So it's different on each side.
Oh, that's cool.
And so it adds okay, if I put it like this, I would get this, but if I flip it, I get these other things. And so then there's more combinations that you can do, and it's awesome.
That's cool. I bet the best part of that game is when you get it and you have to peel all the little, the film off of each card.
Yeah, that was the worst part of it.
Yeah, it's so funny because when we played that at a convention, nobody had done that. Like, if the game had clearly been played before, but, nobody peeled those. I'm like, well, I guess we got to do this.
Oh, because it makes the colors and the pictures so much more vibrant.
Yes. Yeah, really pop, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to play with that film on.
No. That's cool. That's great. That is a great game. We had fun when we played it, and it's your number 10. That's crazy. That high.
Yes.
Top 10 game. Okay.
Of all time.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so my number 10 is a game that we have played together.
Oh.
It is a push your luck game where you are gathering up some ingredients to make potions, and that is Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is really high for you.
This game is really, really fun. It's so fun. It's so fun buying these ingredients, put them in your bag, and then should I pull one more out? Is my pot going to explode? I don't know. I usually do bad because I always want to pull that one more chip, and it's so much fun with all the variability. So there's so many different powers that the chips can have. So it's always going to be a little bit different. Sometimes you get one of those where the points go crazy. Sometimes it's it's more restrictive. But it's fantastic. And I've blinged that out with the Geek Up bits and the little Geek Up boxes and fancy bags and all kinds of stuff.
And the little
yes,
squirrels.
I know yes. And I know there's a new version that has some of the upgraded components in it with new art, but I have the original, and I'm perfectly happy with the original. Yeah, Quacks of Quedlinburg is an amazing game.
I agree.
It is a top 10 game. Number 10.
That is an amazing point, yeah. I definitely agree that is an amazing game.
So much fun to play.
Okay, so my number 9, I think is going to shock you that it's even on my top 100, let alone in my top 10. Ooh. This came out in 2020. We played, 2-3 rounds together at Grand Con.
Okay.
And then I instantly went and bought everything. Gameplay and the deluxe components. Okay. So this is your bees. You're placing your workers out. You're making your honeycombs. And then you get, you can put a little honey thing in there if it matches the sides. And you get the honey and you fulfill the orders. It's called Honey Buzz.
Yep.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. The biggest issue I have with the game is 2 of the honeys look really similar, so I always have to use the economy board to be able to tell the difference between them.
Okay.
Because they just look too similar to me. And then the upgraded components, there's these, everybody loves them, but they're like the fuzzy bees, and they just feel weird to me. So I actually kept the cardboard components, and I'm trying to find replacements for those. But something I love about it comes in the Fall Flavors expansion. It's when we play it triggers end of game based on those piles going out, and or the market reaching the bottom. Versus in the Fall Flavors, it has this board. Each event gets it up a certain amount. And so it varies how it ends, and it just adds that much extra. So I'm playing with that every time now.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, that's amazing. You know what? I was expecting to hear this on your top 100. I did not know it was going to be number 9.
Yes.
That's unbelievable. So fun story. We didn't buy everything for it, but we bought a bunch of different things for this game too, and it's still sealed over there on the shelf. We haven't even opened it yet.
Oh my goodness!
Shame, I know.
Gamer
Such
shame.
So yeah, those 2 or 3 rounds that we played, that's all I've ever played of it.
We have to change that. It is so good. It's so amazing. So pretty.
I know. You're 100% correct. But I know, it's so sad. It's so sad, but you know what? It's sitting there waiting for me. So when we're ready, it's gonna get played
soon, and very soon, hopefully.
That's amazing. I've been shocked so far by these 2 picks. So
awesome.
So my number 9 was number 11 in 2018. So it actually went up a couple spots. So there was kind of a polyomino tile placement game craze, a few years ago, where there was a lot of them coming out. None of them, Patchwork was big, and that didn't really appeal to me. And then one came out that had a theme of building a bear park, and that is my number 9. That is Barren Park. I love this game. This game is so much fun. And it's real simple because you have tiles, and then based on what you cover on your little bear board, that's the tiles you take for the next round. So there's just that little bit of planning, of trying to plan ahead to get the right shapes for your next round, and then that's the game. There's little the little goals where if you have so many bears or so many spaces filled, get extra points. And then when you fill a board, you get a little statue in the last spot that you get points for. We do have the expansion. We usually play with the larger pieces, and then that adds an exit, an entrance and an exit board, which is fun. But it's great. I love making a bear park, and I feel like I'm pretty good at it sometimes. I'm pretty good at maximizing the park so I can fill it out perfectly. Usually, but then there's always somebody who's gonna be hoarding the bathrooms, because those little one space bathroom tiles, you're gonna need those towards the end of the game, and all of a sudden somebody's getting those really quick, and wait a minute, I'm gonna need those, stop taking those. It's so much fun. I love the tile placement and the polyomino and the puzzle and the bear theme, and I love everything about it. It's a fantastic game. So here's my question: have you played Barren Park?
Once.
Oh man, that's sad. That's so good. That's so much fun.
Polyominoes is just not one of my favorite. It was
Really?
a good game. It just I didn't see the need to buy it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. So we have a couple other ones in our collection that do polyomino tile placement too, but this is my absolute favorite. So yeah, my number 9, Barren Park.
Awesome. That is awesome. So my number 8 came out in 2018. It is a game that you convinced me to get storage containers for.
Okay.
And it's been on this section of the list. You're what, number 9?
10, yeah.
Oh, 10. Okay, yeah. So the Quacks of Quedlinburg is my number 8.
Yep.
I love the push your luck of this. I love just how those different tokens interact. They have the different powers. And you can change up the powers every game, so it's always fresh, always interesting. And yeah, I have the original too, so definitely, definitely love it. Love everything about it. And yeah, I think we've said everything already.
Yeah, yep. It's always fun. It's like that. That's the thing about it. It's just fun. Yeah. See, this is the one I was hoping that maybe would be our direct crossover, but it was
so
close.
Two numbers, two numbers off.
I know. I had hopes. I had hopes for this one, but it was close. Close enough, I say.
Yeah, totally counts.
Yeah. Great game. Obviously, I love it too. Okay. So, my number 8 surprised me that it was this high.
Ooh.
This is a word game, but it's a word deduction game where you're deducing the word one letters at a time, and that is Letter Jam.
Oh, okay.
It shocked me that this was this high, but it makes sense because we play it a lot. So if we finish a game and we have more than a time to play a filler, this is usually what just comes out. So if you haven't played Letter Jam, there's like a big stack of letter cards, and you kind of split it up among all the players, and you make like a 5-letter word for someone on either left or right. You decide when if you're going right or left. They shuffle those up, and then put them so it's facing away from them, so everyone else can see your letter, but you. And then you have to try to figure out what that letter is, while other people are making words, and there's these really cool like poker chips, and there's also some like group letters that are random. So you're putting those poker chips in front of letters to spell a word. There's an asterisk, which could be a wild, but that's always tricky because if your letter is next to that, it can be hard to figure out what your letter is. This is a game we have played with different groups of people, and it works as long as everyone understands the system. But something about a word game and then a deduction game. So unfortunately, a lot of the game is sitting there like, I can make a 4-letter word, I think, and then the other person's, I can make a 6-letter word. They're like, all right, you go for it. Puts the poker chips out, you figure out your letters, and then if you can figure out your words at the end of the game, you get points and stuff. But honestly, we almost never do that because I think it is difficult. But you know what? It's fantastic. I assume you've never played Letter Jam.
I have not.
It's so much fun. If you like deduction games and you like making word games,
I like deduction.
It's a home run, I think. Yeah. All right. I think you might like it though, because I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I don't know. I really enjoy it. That's why it's my number 8. My number 8.
Yes, I've heard amazing things about it from you and from others. So it's one I do want to try out. But it's one that I definitely want to try before I buy.
Understandable. And you probably want to have... You can play it 2 players, but I think probably more players is better.
Yeah, it's a party game.
Either way,
feel.
Yeah, kind of. Even though it's not... It's probably as much of a party game as like Codenames is, where there's still a lot of like contemplation during your turn, Yeah, exactly. But yeah, number 8, Letter Jam. Love it.
Awesome. Okay, so my number 7 came out in 2007, and this is the most unique on the list.
Okay.
It is an Alice in Wonderland themed game where you have a hand of cards and you lay one down, and it protects up to a certain amount, and then you have to grab cards to put in your thing. The goal is to get as few cards as possible, and I have finally seen a 0 point for someone. Not me, but I was present for that person winning a 0 point game. And I love it so much, I even made coasters.
Oh, wow.
Way back when, it's like
Nice.
I photocopied the art and made coasters
Nice.
so that way people could have it when we played.
Nice.
So it's called Parade,
Yep.
and just an awesome, beautiful card game. And there is a Temu version out there somewhere that has like negative cards, so you like start on the other end. I really want to try it with those promo cards, but I haven't been able to find them. So maybe one day I'll get to play with them and see what that offers, but just the version I have is so good.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot. I forgot you had mentioned this game already, because I know this is a game that you talk about a lot. so yeah, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense that it's this high up on your list.
Yeah. And you still haven't played this one yet, have you?
I never have. Nope, sure haven't.
but you knew what it was.
Yes, because I hear you talk about it all the time. I'm very familiar with it because of you.
Well, one day I'll get you.
All right, good. Sounds good. That's great. We've had some interesting picks on our list so far. Some unexpected picks. However, my number 7 was on your list previously, criminally low. And that is a game about birds and making a bird engine, and that is Wingspan. Wingspan is so good. I love Wingspan. And it's one of those things, it's got giant stacks of cards. I love giant stacks of cards, so you never know what you're going to get. And you never know how you're going to form your bird engine until you start getting cards and putting them in place. And sometimes it's wonky. Sometimes people can run away with it because they have something that generates something crazy. But you know what? It's still fun. I don't care, because it's still fun to place those birds, manage those resources, and get as many of those birds out as you can, and then trigger all their fun effects. It's great. I love it. Art is beautiful. I have all the expansions. They're all mixed in and thrown together. Can't wait for more, because more birds. I love more birds. I love birds.
I haven't even heard an announcement for when they're coming out with another expansion yet.
There was a delay because I think Elizabeth Hargrave had an illness in the family, I believe, so there was a bit of a delay on development of it.
That makes sense. So, hopefully everyone's okay now.
I don't know. I don't know the details. I just know it's something around that. So I don't know if there'll be another expansion this year or not.
Okay, well, we can wait patiently. You know, we have enough content.
We have a lot of birds already.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yep, cool.
So which is your favorite way to play?
Just the what do you mean?
Like there's that 2-player with the Asia expansion, or that's 7-player where I've not played that one yet.
No, me either. I've never had an opportunity to play that. I would try it. The 2-player is fun. Like, I think if you just have 2 players, you want to play Wingspan, definitely play that version. But just the normal version with the boards that have the nectar on it. We always use the nectar.
Okay.
Because that opens it up a little bit, makes it a little less tight as far as, gathering resources and playing cards. So, yeah, good old Wingspan. Yeah. My number 7.
It's a fantastic pick.
Mm-hmm.
So my number 6 came out in 2017, and it was my number 4 game in 2021. This is a dungeon crawler that you're going through, and you're playing 2 cards that has a top and bottom action, and you're beating up the baddies, you're gaining the gold, you're upping your character, getting experience, you get to go experience the story, And of course, I'm talking about the Gloomhaven family.
Yes.
So we've talked about, I think it was last time it was on your list?
Yeah, correct. It was my number 15.
Yeah, so still a little bit low for you, but
I guess.
Amazing game. I love what Frosthaven had as far as the town goes. I love building up those things, and I love the way that retirement worked in Frosthaven.
Okay.
But sometimes it was like, oh man, that takes such a long period to do. That Gloomhaven is still... And of course I got the Crimson Scales, which is that fan-made expansion, and then the expansion for that expansion. So I'm still playing through that.
That's a lot of stuff.
But yeah. And then the Jaws of the Lion. If you have not played any Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, start there. That's the best way to start the entire series. And it's like a $50 game versus like a $150.
Oh, well, maybe even $250 at this point. I think Frosthaven, the price has gone way up on that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's definitely up. So there, definitely start with Jaws of the Lion, see if you like the system, and then expand from there. Which would you recommend someone getting Gloomhaven or Frosthaven first if they've done the Jaws of the Lion?
I would say probably Gloomhaven. Yeah.
I can see that.
And I feel like there's enough content in one of those boxes to last you a long time, too. So.
Yeah, unless you're psycho and just have it constantly set up and just play every day for a few months. Not that anyone in this room's done that.
No. Yeah, that's a great pick. I'm actually surprised it's not in your top 5. I expected it just a little bit higher, but, you know.
Yeah, but there's 5 other games I love more.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. I understand it perfectly. All right, so... all right, my number 6 was number 13 in 2018, so it went up a little bit. And this one has... Honestly, I like it. 50% of why I like it so much is the theme. Because, you know, I like fun themes. And this has one of the most unique themes, where your... uncle has died and left an inheritance to you as long as you spend all of your money. And that is Last Will.
I've heard of this
This game is... it's so good. It's so much fun. So it is so wacky and it's so weird because you get money and then you have to spend that money as fast as you possibly can. Get rid of it any way you possibly can. And that can be including like going on carriage rides with your girlfriend or whatever, or going to the opera and then bringing your horse, or going out to dinner with your dog, or buying an expensive house and then trashing it, and then reselling it for much lower. But basically, it's basically a like sort of a tableau building game where you draft these different cards onto like your little action board, and then there's an action point kind of management system. So you have so many action points to use every turn, and you're trying to spend all your money, and it's fun, and it creates like a weird story usually of like why you're doing these strange things, to like, you know, bringing your dog to the opera, to, you know, and like hiring like 2 different personal chefs to cook meals for you, and then you don't even show up and you still gotta pay it. So, you know, that sort of thing. The expansion adds like jobs, so you have a job that you have to get rid of because you're getting an income, so you gotta get fired from your job. And then it also adds like a way to like adds cards into the decks that so you can pay for a wedding, like someone's wedding, and you can really rack up getting rid of money for that. And then it's great. I love Last Will. Last Will is so much fun. Like, I have a good time with it every single time.
I've heard phenomenal things about it. Unfortunately, I found out about it after it was out of print.
Oh, yeah, it might not be in print.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So it was just so expensive. I'm like, I'll just try to find a way to play it some other way.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun, and it's a fun thematic experience, even though, you know, it's just basically a card game. But the art is really fun, and I don't know. It's great.
It's definitely unique. You're just trying to just spend all your money so that you can get the inheritance.
And I always think, like, if you lose that game, you're pretty much broke, but then you have no money.
Yeah.
Then you've ruined your entire life.
Yeah.
for nothing.
For a chance at getting a lot of money.
But yeah, no, it's so fun. I love it. Yeah, it's my number 6, Last Will.
Awesome. Okay, so my number 5 game came out in 2019. It was not on my 2021 list because I don't think I played it yet.
Okay.
And I think you will be shocked that it is this low. Because it is something that you gave me you and Missy gave me a wedding gift for.
Oh, no, that's okay.
So,
that's okay,
this is a game where you're dueling. Well, or you can
Yep.
play cooperative against the baddie in the adventurers version. But you pick 2 characters, you pick a board, and you just try to be the ones to come out ahead. And so
Yep.
it is unmatched, and I even brought it with me.
Oh,
Because
nice.
it is so awesome. You got me this amazing card that I can hang on my wall. And I appreciate it. But absolutely love the system. So it's unmatched game
Yep.
system. I don't know if I said that or not. My 2 favorite sets are actually Redemption Row, because I love Luke Cage, just the way he plays. He's just like a beefy tank. And then this is the Divergent one. I love the Buffy set. But I love the Buffy IP, so that might be a factor.
Okay. Sure.
But yeah, just amazing set. The adventures as that cooperative play that you can play against right now, the aliens or the Mothman, and then there's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones coming out sometime soon.
Coming. Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah. Sometime soon.
Yeah. I'll pay the
hopefully
extra
this year.
tariffs just to get it.
Hopefully this year. I don't know for sure, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you would be in the know. Missy knows stuff.
I mean, a lot of things are up in the air at this point, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so that was my number 74. So significantly lower.
Yeah, it was criminally
but yeah,
low on
I know.
your list.
But top 5 for you, so no, that's good. That's impressive. A top 5 game.
Yeah, I thought you were going to give me a little bit of a hard time about it not being like number 2.
No, because I have some, I know what I have some guesses as to what's coming, so it makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. Great game. Love it. It's fun. So my number 5 was number 5 in 2018.
Okay.
Funny that this worked out. So there's a few games coming up here that feel like an adventure, right? Like you're playing, let's say you're playing a movie. And this is exactly like playing a movie.
Okay.
Set in a theme that you do not like.
Okay.
Because you are playing a zombie movie. You're playing a low budget zombie movie, and this game is called Last Night on Earth. Specifically, I have the 10th anniversary edition, which is the big box that fits all or most of the expansions. I actually don't technically have all of the expansions.
Oh.
Because there's a standalone expansion I think that I don't have. It wouldn't fit in that box. So, Last Night on Earth is it's a team game, I guess, because depending on your player count, because it scales really well. So, like, depending on your players, sometimes there can be 2 zombie players. Ideally, I think 5 is the best, because then there's 1 zombie player and 4 survivors. And there's a ton of scenarios. And all the art is kind of like photographs that have been like altered, so it looks like you're playing a cheesy like a zombie movie, Yeah. And it really brings out there's different goals in the different scenarios. Again, I have most of the content, so there's giant stacks of cards, all kinds of weird items, weapons, and events and strange things that can happen. Sometimes it can be unbalanced, but it's usually fun to try, right? So sometimes you have to find the gas and the keys and escape in the truck. Sometimes you have to actually try to kill all the zombies, which is very, very difficult. Sometimes there was one scenario where there was like the book that was like that summoned the zombies or something. So you had to find the book, and destroy the book or whatever. Like it was hidden in one of the buildings. But it's really cool because there are different layouts. There's kind of a square in the middle, and then there's like these little L-shaped boards that go around the side. So you can kind of randomize those every time to make a slightly different layout. And then with one of the expansions, there's even like a forest that can go around the edge of that, which is also fun. It expands the board out. It's kind of an event game because it can take a long time to play, assuming that survivors don't die instantly. But it's dice chucking. It's killing zombies, and the zombies keep coming. And it's so much fun. I love this game.
I can tell.
This is a game that like really speaks to me and like my interests. You know.
Yeah, anything like movie themed instantly I think goes up in your mind.
Yeah, and it really gives you that feeling like you're playing like a goofy 80s zombie movie. So it's fantastic. And there's, like I said, I've got just about everything for it, and it's all great. Mix it all together. Have a great time. Last Night on Earth, 10th Anniversary Edition is the one I have. Number 5.
Awesome. I'm glad you have fun with it.
Indeed.
Okay, so my number 4 came out in 2016. I'm not sure why it wasn't on my 2021 list, because I'm pretty sure I played it, but it might not have just gotten up there yet. I don't know. But this is one that my husband really loves playing, so that might have impacted that as well, because it's one that we play together a lot. So I've played it more. Played both Legacies. This is a game where you're going into a cave or a dungeon and you make some noise, and then there's this dragon or mummies or something, depending on which version you play, that don't exactly hear that well, but they are coming and trying to hurt you, so you could get a little bit of damage. But basically, you're going to try to go in, you're going to get a treasure, and you're going to try to get back out. If you make it above the line, you still get to score. But if you don't, then you get just 0. But if you get fully out, you get a nice little extra bonus. But this is Clank, a deck building adventure. So I love it where you have your 5 cards and there'll be mana or fight or stepping to, go walking through this. And then you just try to get the biggest treasure. You can get a backpack to pick up another one. Phenomenal game. Yeah,
this is another one that I forgot you had mentioned already. Like, you know what? Yeah, this makes sense. It's crazy that it's number 4, but
I know it should be higher.
It was number 70 for me, so
yeah, a little bit of a shock.
But it's okay though. The deck building in this game is a lot of fun because there's all kinds of interesting, things you can acquire for your deck that do fun things.
Yeah. and oh yeah, they're devices you can, like, a one-time use.
Yes.
To be able to get an extra boost whenever.
Yeah.
Those are also a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's great. Clank is a fun game. We're about halfway through, I think, Season 2, Legacy Season 2 at this point. Something like that. It's kind of an all-day a thing for us when we play a game.
Yeah.
So.
It is a longer, we plan 4 hours for each session of the Legacy 2.
Yeah. Sometimes more for us. But that's okay. It's so fun. We have a good time doing it.
Yes, I agree. It's a lot of amazingness. But, yeah, we might actually be playing it today at game night.
Oh, cool. Just like the base game?
Yeah. We started playing it, but it was at the end of the night, so we didn't get done, so they just basically learned the rules. So now we can actually play it for real.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a head start. Awesome. Yeah, that's a fantastic pick. I like Clank too. So, my number 4 was also on your list, criminally low, because this is, this is my favorite worker placement game, for sure. Okay. And it has a fun system where you are planting a vine and squishing some grapes and bottling that up and making wine. And that is, of course, Viticulture, the Essential Edition.
So this is your second Stonemaier on this section.
Yeah. Huh. Maybe I like Stonemaier games more than you did.
I know. That's, wow.
Yeah, Viticulture's great. We love playing Viticulture. It just has a system that makes sense. There's the process of turning, grapes on a vine into wine and then selling that wine. Like, it's a fun process to go through. And then with all the weird cards that that do strange things for points or wine or whatever. That's a lot of fun to try to explore those decks, you know. It's great. I love viticulture. We have the big box. We've got everything for it, including that the print and play expansion, which we never use, honestly, but we have it.
Yeah. And I have it now.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, okay, cool. We like I said, we talked about that a few videos ago because it was too low.
Yeah, it was a little low. I mean, it was number 18. Shocking.
Okay, so, all right. That not that bad then. All right.
Still
not that bad,
low,
but still. Yep. Still, but yeah, number 4 for me.
Yeah.
Viticulture, specifically essential, and I think at this point we always use the Tuscany stuff. Yeah. Even when we're playing the cooperative version, we just always throw that in now. Even though for many, many years we only ever played the base game. It's like, we don't need Tuscany. This is great. And I was like, okay, you know.
Yeah.
But we gave in eventually, and it's fun.
Now, if you would play it with someone who's never played any viticulture before.
That's a good question. I might. It depends on how much of a gamer they are, I guess. If they've played plenty of other games, yeah, that's fine. If they're newer or not as used to more complex games, I would probably just go with the regular one. And the regular one's fun. Like, it's fine. So, I love it. I love that too.
So would you play a new gamer? Would you play the cooperative version with them, or would you want them to have viticultures underneath their belt?
Yeah, probably not, because that can be difficult. You kind of know what you have to be doing, like, in order to make that cooperative version work.
That's challenging.
If you're not all working together in sync properly, you're going to lose that game, for sure.
Yeah, I think I still lose sometimes when I'm playing the intro one, that intro level.
Yeah, even that can be difficult. I agree. But yeah, number 4, viticulture. I love it. Great game.
It is a fantastic game. Okay, so my number 3 was number 3 in 2021.
Ooh.
This came out in 2006.
Okay.
It is set in a post-apocalyptic themed world, and you have hexes that you put out, and it's been described as a knife fight in a phone booth. It's the Hiroshima Hexa 3.0 version, which I actually have the Year of Moloch version too, is the official version I have for the box, but I've gotten everything, so. But I love just, you pick an army, and they have different things, like the Smart is really good at moving around, and they have like certain different shots, versus like the Outpost in the original 4 is really, really good with moving and has some dual shots. And then New York, of course, is my second favorite too. Because that one, it has this like gun that if you're right next to it, it does 3 damage, and then 2 damage, and then 1 damage. It's so good.
Yeah, I knew this was coming.
Yeah. It is also like my most played game. Granted, counting apps, so may or may not, but it's been over 2,000 plays that I've recorded.
That's crazy. That's so many plays. Yeah. So would you say you mostly play this on the app at this point?
At this point, yeah. When I get a new army, because they swapped the app and they haven't been keeping up with putting armies on there, unfortunately, I definitely will play that army against all the other ones just to see how it plays. And
nice.
They definitely do some interesting stuff still. I am constantly surprised every time they bring out a new army that they still have room for discovery. Cool.
That sounds great. Yeah. So it's basically you kind of like set up your turn and then the turn happens, right? Like that's how that game works?
Well,
correct?
like you get 3 tiles.
Like you lay out everything. Okay.
And you have to discard 1, and then you get to play or put out the other 2. And you can either play a battle if you get the battle 1, or if it fills up, a battle triggers.
Okay, all right.
And then it goes off on, like, a 3 will go first, then a 2, and then a 1, and it just all fires, and the board clears out.
It's like chaos. Like, set up, and then chaos.
Exactly. And then you're just trying to get the other health HQ down to 0, or just have the most health at the end of the game when all the tiles are drawn.
I see. All right, cool. Yeah, that's neat. I've heard many good things about that over the years, and I know you were a big fan, so I knew this was coming. And it stayed at number 3. So interesting.
Yeah, it kept its place.
Cool. All right, so my number 3 is a game that you do not like.
Oh, okay.
And this is a big, grand adventure. This kind of shocked me too that this was so high, but we've had such a good experience playing this, even though we've technically only played it 2 times, 2.5 times. I'll explain that in a second. And that is Sleeping Gods.
Okay.
So this is the biggest, grandest adventure game that I own, that I've ever played. Basically, you have been transported to another dimension, and you have to find your way out. And there's this gigantic map, and there's perils everywhere. And I would say a full game probably takes about 15 or 16 hours. But there's so much to explore. There's so much stuff to find. Whenever we play, we do it over like three sessions usually, like 3 days. Like if we have 3 days to play a game, leave it set up on the table. So there is the scaled back version that I cannot remember the name of at this point. The Primeval Peril. That's the one that's kind of like a smaller, condensed version of it. We've played through that one time. It's generally kind of a 2-player game, or solo game, I guess. Though you can play more. It's not quite as satisfying an experience because I felt like you could kind of not see everything, but get almost everything done that you needed to get done. And then there is the Distant Skies version, which we have not played yet, and which is a whole nother adventure with giant map and more crazy places to go and weird things to happen. And
that's the one with an airplane, right?
Correct. Yeah, the original one has like a ship, and the second one has an airplane. Yes, correct. I love it. It's so fun. It's such a grand, expansive experience. And then when you play through it once, you kind of unlock some little things for the next time you play. And you have all that knowledge of that last time you played. So, like, if you're saving your maps, you kind of build, a history of where you've been and where certain keywords are on the map that you didn't find last time that now you can go find. If you get to the right spot. But it can be deadly because if you go to the wrong place too soon and your team's not ready for it, you will perish. Which will accelerate the end game. So you don't want to do that because you want to keep playing as long as you can because it's fun.
Yes, you have a lot of fun with it.
Yes, I sure do.
Yes.
Shocking this number 3, but I just have such great memories of playing it, and I always I just want to play it again, even though it's an event game. Like I said, it takes 3 days usually. So not a game I can play all the time, unfortunately, but I love it. It's so much fun. Sleeping Gods.
Number 3. Okay.
Yes.
So my number 2 was number 1 in 2021. It is a game that came out in 2008 for the year.
Yep.
And it matters not only what you do, but where you do it. Because if you're focusing too much over here, the area down here could go to absolute chaos for you. And it's a card management game. You have any idea what it is? It starts with the letter P.
Yes. Yes, it does.
What do you think it is?
Okay, so I need you to say it because... Because I know your number 1 is going to start with P also.
Yes, it is. So it's Petrichor.
Yeah. Okay.
This came out in 2018. But it's a game all about plants, and it's an area control game, and it can be a little mean. But it's one of those where I know what you can do, so I have to plan for that, and if I don't, then it could really hurt me. which is why how the meanness comes in, because you can see it from a good distance away. And you're trying to control the weather a little bit with which cards you play, and you can vote on the weather or the harvest dice you can get some instant points on. But yeah.
So I think you're burying the lead a little bit here, because this is a game where you play as a cloud.
It's the theme is you are the cloud, but really you're more the rain. Because the clouds just hold your raindrops, and then you put the rain on the areas, and that's what you control the area with.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're technically making clouds and moving clouds around. And it sounds so peaceful and relaxing, but I really want my raindrop on that area. And if you move it, ooh. It can get very tense.
That's funny, yeah. So... yeah, this is a game I've always been interested in because it is such a unique theme, because you're playing as the weather, basically. It's great. But I've never actually played it. I've never had an opportunity to play it. I would like to try it sometime, for sure.
That's right here.
Oh, yeah, wow, nice.
We could totally play it. I could bring it with me.
Great. Yeah. Interesting that it's not your number one anymore.
I know.
Oh.
It got surpassed.
Okay. That's okay. So, my number 2 was number 8 in 2018, and this is essentially just a card game. This is a card game that I bought kind of early-ish into my, when I got back into gaming in 2016 or 15, 17, I don't know, around then. And this is a game that has an archaeology theme. And in fact, it's called Archaeology: The New Expedition. Okay. I love this game. This is my number 2.
Yeah, this is high.
But it's so much fun because it is essentially a push your luck type game, because every turn you have a hand of cards and there's artifacts, and every turn you draw a card. And ideally, you want to get as many sets of those cards to sell to the museum, but you want to try to get as many as you can, because, then you're going to get more points. But then there's all kinds of perils that you can draw, like sandstorms that blow away half of your things, or the other person can draw a thief and they steal one of your cards. So there's always that tension of, like, can I get one more of this thing, or should I sell it now? If I sell it now, I'll get so many points, but I'll get, 10 more points if I can just get one more. It's so much fun. I love this game. And we have the New Expedition version adds, like, the different tiles so that when you get map cards, there's different ways to, like, visit those. Sometimes there's multiple piles. Sometimes it's like you flip over so many cards, and then if there's a duplicate, you lose. That kind of thing. So it mixes it up a little bit. I think it scales really well for players. This is a game that Grayson and I have played a lot, just 2-player. So when you play 2-player, there's more sandstorms and less thieves. But if you play it at 5, there's less sandstorm and more thieves. So it scales really well that way. I know you've played the original version, correct? Like the non-fancy version. Right there. It's great.
It is a really awesome game.
Yep. A game that I've enjoyed a lot over the years. So that's probably why it's this high, because
you've played
it's been consistently a good game. Yeah, it's been consistently a good game for all these years. So, and even when you do bad, it's still fun. It's still fun to try, to save up those artifacts. But yeah, that's my number 2. Was number 8, so it rocketed up.
Yeah.
Archaeology: The New Expedition.
Second favorite. Woohoo.
Yeah.
And I don't think either of us are going to be surprised by the other's number 1.
Probably not.
And if anyone knows me, they already know what my number 1 is.
Mm-hmm.
In 2021, it was number 2, but of course, it has returned to its most rightful spots. Okay. The original came out in 2008. My favorite version came out in 2017. And I have been crowned the queen of this game for pointing out a missing connection between Ho Chi Minh and Bangkok. I was the first one to do that publicly, way back in the day on Twitter. It starts with a P, and it's a cooperative game. And I'm just gonna. I made a crown when I was crowned queen. So pandemic, with my favorite being Rising Tide. But it's all about trying to get the cards to cure the diseases, or in the case of the Rising Tide, you're trying to get the cards to build structures, or there's some variants in there for other win conditions for that area. But you're just playing cooperative. You're trying to keep the bad stuff at bay while retrieving the good stuff, and it is just solid. Just everything is just, I love it so much. Yeah. Absolutely a phenomenal game. And it was way too low on your list.
Yeah, it was 27. So
a little bit low.
That's okay. Yeah, I think it's a great cooperative game. It's got such a interesting system, the way it works. And I think I said that when I talked about it, but yeah. That's what makes it fun. It's funny because the way you were talking about Petrichor, like that could have almost been
Pandemic. I was doing that intentionally.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I figured. Okay. All right. That's why I was like, I don't want to say it. It's one of two games.
Yes. But, oh, yeah. I could play it so much. And they came with cards that were blank for the player powers. So I made a whole bunch of player powers that I can... So and I use, like, pictures of family and friends way back when.
Nice.
And so it's like a very personalized edition. So if the house ever burns down, we are grabbing that box.
Yep. Cool.
And that's the original edition.
Yeah. So you said what? Rising Tide was your number one version?
Yeah, my absolute favorite version, which is a divergent from the norm because most people they're one of the lesser favorites.
Huh. Okay.
But it's the most strategic, and they're like normally. Like you pull out and you have to like place a cube in that city, versus this one you have to remove a dike with a thing of wood, but just from that border. So you could remove it from the connection here, which borders that one, or you can move it down here. Because then when that one comes out, you also have to remove one, and you can't remove that one anymore. You have to remove another one, so it could kind of cascade, and the decisions you make are just very impactful.
That sounds fun. Yeah, I would enjoy trying that version for sure. So my question is, what's your second favorite version?
Ooh, I really like Iberia. I really like Fall of Rome. Iberia, they add the train tracks.
Okay.
And you can go those, and like you can't eradicate the diseases because that wasn't a thing. But the diseases have powers. Versus Fall of Rome, it's like these barbarian hordes are like moving towards Rome, and it's like a slow march, and then sometimes a very fast march. That's a really fun one too. And then of course the legacies are absolutely phenomenal. There are Legacy 0 and 1. If you follow Rado's channel, he made variants for them, so you could continue playing them after you do the Legacy game. Legacy 2. Because of the way it comes out, you can't play that one afterwards. But Legacy 2 is my favorite of the Legacies, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Sorry to get super nerdy on that one.
No, that's fine. So, my number one. I have it right here. It's... no, just kidding. My number one is going to be no surprise to anyone. This is another big grand adventure game. Takes a long time to play, and it's about traveling around the world, solving mysteries, fighting monsters, and before you know it, you're overwhelmed by all of those things, and that is Eldritch Horror. So, no shock. This is a game. It's been on it was my number one in 2018 as well. And guess what? It has large stacks of cards because I have all the expansions. Some of these stacks of cards are huge at this point, full of items and spells and conditions. Those are always fun. So basically, there's different great old ones that have you pick one to play with, and there's these mysteries. So you have to kind of travel around the world, picking up clues for these mysteries, and it's like little story bits that are connected to whatever this great old one is doing. And then if you can solve so many of those mysteries before he wakes up, or they wake up, or it wakes up, because some of these things are very strange, you win the game. And we've done that a couple of times because it is difficult. Because it spirals out of control so quickly sometimes. But there's like so many different investigators among all the expansions, and they all do interesting things, some more useful than others, but sometimes maybe that is useful, you just don't see it yet. There's portals that monsters come out of. You're trying to close those portals as fast as you can, but before you know it, monsters have poured out of that portal, and they're all over the world, and and horrible things happen. But every turn you go and you have like a little, like you pull a card to have an encounter in that space. So, and then there's just a little bit of a story, and you make a decision, and you roll some dice. So it's fun experiencing that story. Usually, it takes around 6 hours to play a game. Usually, if we're playing 4 players, and usually by about halfway, it's like, I don't know if we can do this. But we're going to try. And it's, like, I've always kind of liked the Lovecraft universe full of all these strange things. I had some of the books from many, many years ago that I had read. I know Lovecraft himself wasn't the greatest person, but, the
stories were
in the years since... I know. In the years since, they have, other writers have taken his stories and taken what he's created, and and turned it into like fantastic board games like Eldritch Horror. So, and it's all in the public domain because he's long dead. So,
yeah. And it is a really great world, and
I agree.
Like every game, they're so thematic, and
yes,
like the Eldritch, the Arkhams. Those are just really thematic,
right? Games. Right. Because you had Arkham Horror, the card game, on your list, and that's kind of like Fantasy Flight Games has kind of created the whole like their version of that world.
Yeah,
and they're all kind of like a lot of the investigators that are in that are in this. A lot of the monsters are the same, so it's all kind of one world that all of this is happening in. Yeah.
And you kind of get cool call of actually like, I really like playing Jenny Barnes in this.
Yes.
So who's
but then you want to try something new. Oh, so that's a good question because I always try to play a different one, but I do really like the one that I think he's a politician because he can get items and give them to other people no matter where they are. So that can be. I think he's a politician. Yeah. So like it's fun to. Like try to max out the equipment on everyone else, even though you don't necessarily reap the benefit of that. But if you can beef up everyone else,
yeah. Then you do better as a group.
Exactly, and you win as a group, or you die miserably as a group. And, of course, if you do die, you just pick another investigator. So,
and then you get to play it all over again on another day.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's so much. But there's these there's positive conditions that you can get that help you, but there's so many negative conditions, and you're more likely to start stacking those on yourself, and like it can get awful sometimes. Yeah. And I love it. Have you have played Eldritch Horror? Yes,
I have played it.
Yeah. Okay.
I think just once. I played Arkham Horror, the board game, and then Eldritch Horror. Yep. They're just a little bit too bombastic for me.
I understand. Probably not for everyone because you definitely have to settle in and know what you're getting into. You know.
Very long game.
Yes. And sometimes long times in between your turns too. But if you're listening to everyone else's story as it's kind of going on, I think it's still fun. It's a game that we try to play once a year at this point because again, it's not a game we can play all the time. Yeah. But it's always a fun experience. And there has been a game where I think we lost within like an hour of playing. Whew. We're like, oh, okay, well, we can set up and play again.
Yeah, because you've set your entire day up around playing this one.
Yeah, exactly. But it's great. I love it. Eldritch Horror, my number one game of all time. And it remains that way since 2018, even though, yeah, well, we'll just say that.
Ooh, I'm kind of curious now.
Well, no, because Gloomhaven I think would have been in there at some point.
Ah, gotcha. So you had
Between
like
20
a slight upset, and now you're back to where it should be.
But that was never recorded anywhere. So
Gotcha. So it can slide under the radar.
Yeah. So that does it. That is the top 10 games of all time.
Whew, lots
According
of
to us.
amazing ones.
Definitely some surprises in there for sure.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see Ben Casey on your top 10 list of all time.
Come on, come on. He's been here the whole time. He's been watching over us the whole time.
Yeah. I honestly was expecting you to put that one somewhere in your top 100.
It's funny because when we were doing the Pub Meeple thing, I put it in the list, but like, come on, it's not going to be a top 100 game.
Honorary mention.
Yeah, exactly. It made an appearance at the end.
Exactly, so that's what matters.
All right, so this has been a great experience doing this with you.
This has been a lot of fun. Like, all of these games are absolutely phenomenal. Number 100 is phenomenal. Number 20 is phenomenal. Number 1 obviously is phenomenal.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
But I want to say thank you for having me on for all of these times and hanging out with me and dealing with some little coughings here and there.
But well, thank you for coming on here and talking to me about all of these great games.
And thank you guys for watching all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope you enjoyed watching all of these because we sure have had a great time talking about them. Yeah, so who knows what the future holds. I can't imagine we would do this again anytime soon. This was quite an undertaking on our part.
It might be a few years from now.
Yeah, because I don't know how much the list would change in 1 year's time, especially for me.
Yeah, not very much for me either.
Yeah, so either way, stay tuned. There's always something good going on both of our channels. Hers being the Long Distance Gamers channel, where there is a review will be popping up very soon.
Yes, very soon. And we already know what game it is.
Well, yes. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you down the road somewhere. Bye.